Van Gundy. This is Kevin Harlan, and we're joined by our reporter, David Aldridge, on the sidelines. The Nuggets with their last game here in Denver before heading back out on the road. Now, here's Doncic. Caldwell Pope for three. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. You know, you were talking about Giannis. He can put up 30 a game without taking many shots from the perimeter. That's a tall order these days, especially because he gets doubled every single time. Randle with the bucket.
And if he gets the space, Randle absolutely will take that shot. Not afraid of that corner three.
Pass to Caldwell Pope. Back to Doncic. Here's Caldwell Pope. Off target from three-point range. Oh, he really broke up that transition opportunity. Looks like it'll be a transition take foul. Coming into this game, Stan, it's clear who the media thinks will win. We've been reading about it and hearing about it for the last couple days.
Yeah, but Kevin, you know, none of us in the media know what we're talking about. It's just a lot of speculation. And look, it's a cliche, but it's also true. The games aren't won on paper, they're won out on the court, and anyone in the NBA can beat anyone else on a given night.
Which makes me look forward to this one.
Absolutely.
And certain guys dictate the pace of the game, Doncic, as much as anyone.
And it's Giannis missing.
Well, the defense was right where they needed to be to stop the layup. Great awareness and effort.
Doncic fires from way outside. And not going to go. He misses the first attempt on the night. Brooks misses.
Well, you can tell he thinks he should have had that one. Even harder on him when he's got a good look like that and it doesn't go down.
Now, here's Doncic. Right now, checking his stats, he's averaging over 23 points a game. 6 on the shot clock. Giannis drives in. Seattle grabs the miss. And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. You got for us, D.A.?
Thanks very much. Briefly spoke with David Adelman. Undoubtedly, their defensive focus is trying to limit Luka Doncic. Coach told me Luka is a great player who impacts the game on so many levels. No one has been able to shut him down. We just need to play with physicality and make him work for everything. We'll see how they handle one of the toughest matchups in the NBA. Guys?
Thank you, David.
Well, Caldwell Pope is one of those guys who just loves to come after you.
Here's Giannis. No good on that one. Good defense by Claxton.
Well, he certainly had trouble finding the mark this quarter.
Caldwell Pope right side. Shoots over Beal. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket.
Well, he's more than comfortable in the mid-range, but you can't make them all.
And you look at this year's Denver team, you know, Greg, trying to get more from their bench than they did last year.
Yeah, and you just don't want your starters to play so many minutes that they get gassed in the postseason. That's something Denver's trying to avoid this time around. Easier said, though, than done.
Now, here's Doncic. Nothing on the board. Poked away. Pass to Caldwell Pope. And Doncic, here we go. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires.
And able to produce under any circumstances. Shot clock has no effect on Luka.
Out to Brooks. Here's Giannis. And it's Seattle with the rebound.
And there hasn't been anything easy for him in this period.
Well, the offense has to look for ways to get him easier shots, better selections. You have to be set up for success.
Now here's Caldwell Pope. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game.
Nice handoff by Caldwell Pope, making a well-timed pass.
And there it is for him.
And how about that exhale there? Finally gets one to fall through 6 attempts.
Back to Doncic. Nice D from Brooks.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
And there's the whistle, called a clear path foul there. Yep, and he'll shoot 2 at the line. All right, we'll take a look now at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for Seattle.
Well, their game plan has been very effective so far. They're working the ball inside, putting constant pressure.
And one other thing they've done well today, guys, share the ball. I mean, set up teammates and just playing unselfishly.
Giannis outside. And he comes up with the deuce.
And this is where you feed Giannis. The closer he is, the more dangerous he becomes.
Doncic, no good.
Well, it's been a frustrating night for him at the offense.
And it's a great finish!
Oh, my.
An amazing athlete. The length, speed of Giannis is borderline impossible to guard when he is playing downhill.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Nuggets. One second separating the shot clock and game clock. Now, Giannis. 6 points for him. Randle outside. Three-pointer, Brooks. And no good that time. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Nuggets ahead, leading by 3. We've got 10. And it's been a pretty even game here after 1 quarter of play. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Nuggets.
Well, you know, the analytics guys would tell you a team shouldn't be taking this many mid-range shots, but clearly they're shooting them with confidence.
And something else that's working for them is ball movement. A lot of their points so far have come as a result of smart plays.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. If you think Luka Doncic makes amazing shots in the game, you should see his trick shots. It's legendary stuff with his teammates. Luka says, I'm just making them up. I like to have fun, so sometimes I just try some new stuff. And of course, Kevin, he always feels like they're going in.
Thank you, D.A. He is a magician with the ball. A very creative mind, and it's fun to watch. And it's Giannis missing.
Yeah, he hasn't had the best night from the field, but his teammates have had his back.
Greg, you think about oversized point guards, and the gold standard has always been Magic Johnson. Now you look at Luka Doncic, and he's certainly big for that position.
Definitely some positive similarities, right? But the big difference is one of those guys has 5 rings, and that's not a knock on Doncic. This is a team sport, but Magic's ability to affect winning was right there with another MJ, Michael Jordan.
Here's Antetokounmpo. It's hauled in by Claxton. Seattle trails by 3. And here's Doncic from the arc.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here, Kev. That's not a good look at all. And that's foul number 2. Maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
The Nuggets shooting their 4th attempt at the free throw line right here. Greg, every year, injuries are a huge factor in shaping the title race. And I'm guessing that teams should probably put more of a premium on durability. What do you think?
Well, Kevin, I think all GMs take that into account. A team wants to be confident it'll have a stable roster over the course of a long season.
Seattle shooting their first free throw of the game. They've been hanging in there.
And a chance here to jump on top.
Caldwell Pope right side. Pass to Doncic. And here's Caldwell Pope. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
And Caldwell Pope, explosive off the floor. He can catch you unawares with his dunking.
Here's Antetokounmpo. And the rejection by Claxton. Seattle shooting their second free throw attempt on the night.
And they've been ordinary on the season as well, just about 75% from the line.
Well, any team would see benefit from adding Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to their roster. He does a little of everything and just wants to help his team win.
And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
Not a problem. First turnover of the game, but overall, I like how they're taking care of the basketball.
And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Here's Giannis. They can't stop the run with that one.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
This is his second trip to the free throw line. That free throw good from Caldwell Pope. Seattle leading by 3. And here is Doncic. In the corner, George with it. Back to Doncic. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Off target from outside.
Well, this is certainly not the game he was hoping for offensively, but they've been able to find points as a team even without his contributions.
Pass to Brooks. And a miss there on the triple.
Well, the defense catches a break there. You expect him to make those.
Claxton. Julius Randle with the rebound. He takes it in. And Randle throws it down.
And on the drive, Randle gets a ton of momentum, and that turns into airtime for the slam.
To the middle. It's stolen by Alvarado. Here's the break. Brooks with no one around. Drains the jumper to finish the break. And it's Seattle with the ball. They trail by 1. Their next game is in San Francisco, so a road game with the Warriors. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
Look, you can get away with a lot in terms of screens today, but you can't make it that obvious.
Giannis inside. Three-pointer. And he's good on the 3-ball. Neesmith has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Here's Doncic. Here's the screen. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
The all-around game of Doncic is impressive. A walking triple-double threat every night. Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
Giannis outside. Randle down low. 9 points in the game so far. And he makes that one. Randle's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And how about the touch there inside? And that's where Randle likes to get the ball, and you can see why.
Knocks it loose. Pass to Doncic. And out of bounds as the Nuggets gain possession. And the timeout called here by Tyronn Lue. He wants to check in with his team and regroup. And it's the Nuggets with the ball. 4-point game. Here's Giannis. Seattle grabs the miss.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
Dunn right side. Pass to Achua. For three. And once again off the mark by Seattle. Here's Randall. Good. Nice job down low. Randall's got the lead up to 6 now for the Nuggets.
And this is how Randall likes to operate, taking it in to the defense over and over again.
And out of bounds as the Nuggets gain possession. Time called here. The Nuggets decide to talk it over. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
And so it's the Denver Nuggets with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They've dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance, and it's paying off for them. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Launches a three. It's hauled in by Claxton. Seattle trails by 6. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It goes on Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Stan, you've been on the bench in the NBA for many decades. What were some of your biggest pet peeves as a coach?
Oh my gosh, Kevin, that would be a long list. But the 2 biggest would be this. I think number 1, anytime there was a lack of effort, not running back on defense, things like that, that I had a hard time tolerating. And then mental breakdowns, things we had prepared for over and over and over again. And then guys just zone out and forget what they're supposed to do. Those were things that were hard to tolerate.
Especially when you would take such care in preparing them in every way. It's got to be just excruciating.
Frustrating as heck.
Looking to get it going. Powers inside Giannis.
Contact just doesn't matter against Giannis. Once he's inside, he is not to be stopped.
Pass to Caldwell Pope. Back to Doncic. Julius Randle with the rebound.
That's a defender doing just enough to cause a miss on the layup.
And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a 3-point play. Going to the line for 1.
Just simply overpowers the defense. Giannis flexing that near 7-foot frame.
Seattle trails by 8. Doncic outside. Caldwell Pope outside. Back to Doncic. Doncic gets it to go inside.
Creating space, Doncic will move defenders around.
So, Stan, we watched Kentavious Caldwell Pope's career, and he's played for a handful of teams, and he's been a starter on multiple title teams, including the 2020 LA Lakers.
Yeah, Kevin, I loved coaching him. This guy is a hard worker. He's one of the best conditioned athletes in the league. His stamina is incredible. He knocks down threes. It's not a coincidence that he's been on championship teams in 2 different cities.
Amazing. Back to Doncic. Doncic powers it home.
Oh, from ultra close range, Doncic.
The Nuggets leading by 3. Here's Antetokounmpo. Seattle grabs the miss. Doncic outside. Caldwell Pope outside. Pass to Alexander Walker. With a tie. That shot by Caldwell Pope, no good. A tight game here in Denver. Following this game, they hit the road to challenge the Nuggets at Ball Arena in Denver. That one will start off a 3-game road trip for the team.
And how about the attack there from Giannis inside, going right into the defense and still able to get the shot up.
That misses, so he splits the free throws. Ooh, Doncic capping off the break. And it's the Nuggets with the ball. Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Giannis with it. He's got 16. And again, Denver no good. Pass to Claxton. It's good. This game is all even. Claxton's got 7.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
So strong. Giannis has really added some bulk since entering the league. Helps him absorb the contact.
We've seen him miss a couple from the line so far, going 2 for 4.
Not the best statistic for him in terms of his performance at the line. Very low number.
For 3, Caldwell Pope. And another make to his scoring column. His 5th basket of the game. Now shooting 5 of 11.
Caldwell Pope is a well-practiced shooter. Once the ball is in his hands, he's into his motion.
Back to Giannis. Antetokounmpo converts inside.
Well, his offense is carrying them right now. And even with the defense keying on him, he's making great adjustments on the fly.
Back to Doncic. And he uses the glass on the layup. Doncic has got the game tied up here for Seattle.
What a difference a half can make. As much as he struggled in the first 2 quarters, he certainly made up for it with his play in the second half.
It's Randle with the drive. Antetokounmpo. That's in, coming off an assist from Randle. Giannis has got 13 points here in the second half alone. Pass to Caldwell Pope. For the lead. Julius Randle with the rebound.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a 3-point play. So it'll be Giannis Antetokounmpo shooting. That one on Caldwell Pope.
They've done a much better job from the line this half. They've gotten that percentage up over 80 for the game.
And Tyronn Lue calls timeout. Wants to talk some things over. Might be seeing some things to adjust. Seattle trails by 5. DeRozan inside. Dunn outside. Pass to Goodwin. Out left to the wing. Achua, no good. 19 seconds left here in the third quarter. They're whistled for a blocking foul, and he'll head to the line.
You know, one thing you have to admire about Randle is his hunger to get better. He is a real leader who leads by example.
His first personal foul. Well, probably a little draft in the arena tonight. He's the last guy you expect to miss the mark by that much.
Absolutely. Now, here's Goodwin. Scoreless thus far. DeRozan on the wing. Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's feeling it tonight and has been the driving force for the Denver Nuggets. They kept going to him again and again.
39.
And I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. Seattle trails by 6. Here's Doncic. The shot by George, wide open. The shot's good on the assist by Doncic. George has got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for Seattle. Timeout called, Nuggets. A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Thanks very much. I was able to listen on what David Adelman went over with his team. Now, he was quite encouraging in the huddle. He said, look, you're fighting out there, fellas. I can see it. I need you to keep giving everything you have. Bring this one home. See if they can pull it off. Guys?
Thank you, David. Master Randall. Back to Giannis. Claxton with the steal. And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for Seattle. They trail by 3. Caldwell Pope outside. Clock at 4. From deep, George. And it's Denver with the rebound. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
It's hauled in by Claxton. Seattle trails by 3 to the inside. Some nice ball movement here by Seattle. Pass to Caldwell Pope. Now, here's Doncic. Seattle needs to get off a shot. That's out of bounds. Seattle will retain possession. Shot from the inbound. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket.
What a big night for Kentavious Caldwell Pope, converting time and time again.
Pass to Antetokounmpo. Trying to get open is Randall. Missed inside. Now Doncic. Back to Caldwell Pope. Shoots over Alvarado. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket.
Caldwell Pope taking over this game. Tremendous confidence he's displaying in his ability.
Pass to Randall. Randall is doubled. Out to Brooks. 6 to shoot. Cans it from downtown.
Oh, spacing the floor. Brooks is comfortable shooting it from deep.
Outside for Caldwell Pope. Here's Alexander Walker. Here's Doncic. Forcing his way inside. Doncic.
And they've had assists now in their last 3 baskets.
Here's Alvarado. Pass to Randall. Ball's knocked loose. And pushing it up. Here's Seattle. Alexander Walker with the ball. Back to Doncic. Screen by Claxton. Doncic, no good.
And even with good coverage defensively at that time, he has confidence to drill the 3. Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Here's Antetokounmpo. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And so he's picked up his final foul. He will sit for the rest of this game.
And guys, this is where their depth really comes into play. They've got such talent at that position. They'd love to have him out there, but they won't suffer much of a drop-off.
I like this aggressive mentality he's adopted in the second half, doing everything he can to get to the line.
To the paint. Here's Alexander Walker. Banked in off the glass. Alexander Walker's got his first points of the night. Good defense. Better shot from Antetokounmpo.
And you know, he knows he's the leader of this team. Giannis embracing the opportunity to come through with big baskets.
Pass to Caldwell Pope.
Well, look, they needed that one. Tremendous leadership by Caldwell Pope in an important situation.
Antetokounmpo, no good. .144 left in the fourth quarter. Stolen by Brooks. Giannis drives in. And it's Seattle with the rebound. Caldwell Pope on the wing. Pass to Doncic. Carries it from three-point range. Now it's a 5-point Seattle lead.
Incredible. Doncic decides he wants to take over, and that's his personality. He comes up with the goods on that one.
Outside, George. 5 to shoot. Caldwell Pope on the wing. No good on the triple. So it's Denver now. It's a 5-point game. Here's Giannis. Count it! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
There is no question Antetokounmpo is a star in this league. This team trusts him to make the big shot.
Doncic outside. Pass to Achua. And Jose Alvarado is going to pick up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Doncic outside. Money!
They're in total command of this game with time starting to run out.
Yeah, and at this point, the focus is Take care of the ball, no needless fouls, and no threes.
Takes it inside, and Doncic throws it down. And so it's Seattle winning this one. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory.